Hey everyone, this is Paul Jackson from Blackberry Smoke, and you're listening to my weekly mixtape with my buddy Brian Coburn. And don't forget that music is love and love is music. Always remember that. Uncle Paul told you that.
Welcome to My Weekly Mixtape, a podcast that takes the classic mixtape approach to building a modern playlist. I'm your host, Brian Colburn. Joining me tonight as guest curator is Paul Jackson, guitarist for one of my favorite bands of the last 20 years, Blackberry Smoke. Paul, thank you so much for joining me on My Weekly Mixtape.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
Well, it's awesome to have you. And as a first-time guest, I'd like to start by asking you the question, what does the word mixtape mean to you?
Oh, God, it reminds me of my youth, because we used to do it all the time. Hell, we would take our boom boxes, that's right, people, boom boxes, and put in front of the TV when Headbangers Ball came on just to record the music because our radio stations wouldn't play like Maiden and stuff like that. So we'd make mixtapes that way. It was terrible sounding, but at least my brother had that 5-band EQ in the car. We could make it work. No.
Well, tonight's topic is one that I've been looking forward to diving into for a long time, and that topic is the music of Blackberry Smoke. So what better way to do this than with a member of the band?
That's right.
So let's get down to business. Tonight, Paul and I will be curating the ultimate Blackberry Smoke mixtape, and we'll use the old cassette deck approach. Paul, as my special guest, will begin side A with his first song choice, and then I'll add a song that I feel best follows up his choice. We'll then flip-flop choosing songs until we've mapped out 10 songs for side A. We'll then give our mixtape a proverbial flip, and we'll map out side B, only this time I'll kick things off with Paul choosing second. Our overall goal for the episode is to craft the best Blackberry Smoke mixtape possible through only 20 songs. At the end of the show, you can take our conversation to the next level by visiting the episode page at myweeklymixtape.com to give our final mixtape a listen via the embedded playlist. And if you like what you're hearing on the show, you can help me out by either telling a friend, leaving the show a 5-star review wherever you're tuning in, or becoming a Patreon mixtaper at patreon.com/myweeklymixtape. There you'll find ad-free episodes of the show, gain access to future episodes, hear exclusive bonus banter clips, chime in on upcoming show topics, become a future guest, and so much more. And with that, there are a couple of chime-ins from the Patreon mixtapers, but in a first here at My Weekly Mixtape, I'm going to hold them for now because I have both of these songs in my bank, and I want to see how or when or if I can find a place for them. Once again, if you want to chime in for future My Weekly Mixtape episodes, you can join the Patreon Mixtaper community at patreon.com/myweeklymixtape. And now, Paul, I'm officially pressing the record button on the ultimate Blackberry Smoke mixtape, and I'm passing the mic to you. How are you kicking off the musical festivities this evening?
All right, I'm going to kick it off of Flesh and Bone because that, to me, it's just a heavy tune, and Charlie wrote some good lyrics to it. So, yeah, it's just a heavy song.
It is, and there's something about a lot of the songs in the Blackberry Smoke catalog. There's a spectrum when you listen to a Blackberry Smoke album.
Mm-hmm.
Flesh and Bone was from 2018's Find a Light. That album has a spectrum of everything from hard rock to, I want to call it, Americana, a little bit of country, and then there's also a little bit of Southern gospel mixed in the fold.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with Charlie. He's got that. Personally, me, I can't see us as an Americana band, but we are, I guess. I don't know. I like loud guitars, man. As long as it's loud and nasty, I like that part of it.
And what I also like about these songs is, as heavy as they are, I bet you if Blackberry Smoke did an all-acoustic show, you guys could somehow find a way to take Flesh and Bone and make it work at an acoustic level.
I think we've done that.
Yeah, can you talk about how you take these heavier songs and kind of rearrange them for the acoustic setting?
Well, sometimes we'll rearrange one or two, but most of all, these songs are written on acoustic anyway. Most of them are. So the ones that need to be nasty, we make them nasty. It's about the attitude, how you play it, and how you're dialed in. And it's not rocket science or anything. It's just how you feel the the song at the time you're doing it, while you're doing it acoustic.
Well, you also chose an album opener, which holds a special place in my heart because I feel like that is the way you set the tone. And
Right.
Blackberry Smoke definitely knows how to do that. However, I'm not going to follow up Flesh and Bone with an album opener. I'm actually going
I
to
got.
follow up with a track 2. And
Oh.
this song comes with a humble plea along with my thoughts on the song. And I'm going to go with the title track from 2015's Holding All the Roses.
Yes.
This was a huge milestone in music because for Blackberry Smoke, this album marked the first time that an indie band hit #1 on the Billboard Country Albums Chart.
Isn't that a trip? That's a trip.
How did you guys pull that off without the major label machine behind you?
I think we released it when nobody else had a record out there.
That must have been the same case then with 2016's Like an Arrow, because that hit #1 as well.
A lot of bands, you'd be surprised how many bands do that. But no, I'm still flabbergasted by it. Every time, like you just said it, I haven't thought about it in a while. It still blows my mind. It's like, us? Really? But that's cool, And our fans, man, I hate that word fans, but our friends, I guess, it's all they're doing because some of them will go out and buy 6 copies just because.
Well, I have actually 2 copies of this album because there is 2 versions, the regular CD, and then I realized down the road that the Best Buy version had bonus tracks, and I went, son of a bitch, and I had to, or I should say, son of a bourbon, and go get the...
Man, I don't even have that one. I need to get that one. I don't even know what's on the bonus track.
It's Pearls and Ain't Got the Blues in a live acoustic version.
Oh, I definitely need that one. That's my boy Brandon. He came up with that riff.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Going back to the Holding All the Roses riff, when I listen to that song, I almost picture what a metal bluegrass band would sound like.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. I was going to say the same thing.
So I feel like following up the energy of Flesh and Bone, Holding All the Roses is a great way to do that. And with that, I'm also going to drop a plea to the band because in 2015, when the album came out, you guys played it, at least according to setlist.fm, over 70 times, but it's kind of fallen off since then. I know you got a lot of albums to pull from, but I would love to see this one live.
Yeah, I'll mention it. See what happens. I'll let Charlie do the set list because he's the one singing all these. So.
Yeah. Well, we are back to you now for track 3. What are we going to go to next?
Woo. I'm going to go with Everybody Knows She's Mine. I like that one. Let me say something real quick so everybody knows. I don't have a favorite Blackberry Smoke song. I like all of them, like literally all of them. It's like, it's hard for me to pick these is what we're doing. It's kind of hard, but I'm doing Everybody Knows She's Mine. Just, it's such a good song, man. I mean, everybody thinks that of their significant other.
Oh God. Yeah.
Or it could be a guitar you're talking about or a car or something,
Well, you released this album on Southern Ground, which was Zach Brown's label at the time.
We sure did.
How much involvement did he have in the production of the Whippoorwill?
Ish. We're very fortunate when this band got together that we were all old enough. We're adults. We weren't teenagers where somebody, you need to do this. Okay. We were just like, no, we're doing it our way. That was pretty much like, you can make the record you want. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. And that's what we did. And he was cool with it, man. I like it. Zach's just a cool guy anyway, but.
Well, I think I'm going to follow up a track from the Whippoorwill with a track from the Whippoorwill. I'm going to stay there for a while. And I'm going to go with one that is a staple of the band since it was released. I'm going to go with Pretty Little Lie.
Ooh, nice.
There's something about this song that just, you could feel the tension in the lyrics, in the story that's being told. And there's such a staying power to this song. It always usually ends up being early in the set of a Blackberry Smoke show, and it kind of seems to bring the crowd together. What is so unifying about this song?
I don't know, man. That one really hits people too, but probably my, the high harmony vocal that I have to hit every night. I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. We do it. Thank God we do it at the beginning of the set because I don't think I could sing that high part at the end of it. It's just one of those tunes that, what am I always looking for? I always tell people, my mother told me this actually when I started playing music, simplicity sells. It's not a hard song to play. It's got a good melody to it, a good hook to it, and everybody can relate to it. That's what I think it is. And people can really, they just understand it. You know, I mean, it's a good song. I love that song. Good pick, actually.
I appreciate that. Well, following up Pretty Little Lie, we're back to you for track number 5.
All right. All right. Track 5. So I'm going to go back to the first record. And I don't know, man, this is hard for me. God, it's hard. I, I like Scared of the Devil. It's a live cut, but that's a good heavy song too. I like the heavy stuff, man. I can't help it. Yeah, and that's such a cool riff that Charlie has to the beginning of that. You know, down, down, go down, down. I love that riff. So cool.
It's a killer riff. And I was always wondering why the band decided to kind of do the half studio, half live for this album.
Well, I'll give you the right answer. I have no clue. Don't ask me. I have no clue, dude.
Now, are there any studio versions of the second half? Well, Scared the Devil Out of You is the bonus track on the CD, at least, but.
Right. Oh, yeah, it is on there. Yeah, see, that's what I'm sounding there. I can't remember everything on there. Yeah, we did record that one, and it did get on there. See, I didn't even notice that was on there until you said something about it.
All right. Well, following that up, I'm going to jump us back to 2018's Find a Light.
All right.
Because there are certain songs that I listen to Blackberry Smoke that I want to get down and dirty, loud and obnoxious, and Blackberry Smoke definitely does that for me. But there's also a side of the band that brings a level of joy to the music, and it's a completely different vibe, and I love that part of the band as well. And I feel like Best Seat in the House is the song that truly gives you a feeling of joy when you listen to it. And I know earlier you mentioned vocal harmonies. They are such an important part of Blackberry Smoke's sound. How much time and effort do you guys actually put into locking in the harmonies for any particular song as you're working out the kinks before recording it or playing it live?
Well, I'll just give it to you straight. It didn't take us long to do that because I understand how Charlie sings. We've been doing this for so long, and I've watched him sing before we even started Blackberry Smoke, and that's just our thing. We can figure out the harmony pretty easy. You know, if I know where he's heading, you know, I'll take care of it. And sometimes we do. Sometimes there's something that I can't hear, and Charlie will come into the studio and go, "It's this part, la la la," and then I'll nail it. But I don't know. It just works. I don't know how to explain it, and that's the good thing.
And to me, Best Seat in the House could either be a song that you could take literally, you know, from a concert perspective, but then you could take the lyrics and almost apply it to life itself.
That's exactly where I just assume. I never asked him, but I think that's where Charlie was coming from, about life itself. You know, we're at the best seat in the house, no matter where you're at.
Amen. All right. So now we are tossing it back to you for track 7. Where do we go from here?
All right. Back to, I'm going to do Little Piece of Dixie record. Shaker Magnolia is fun. Very, you know, the ladies like it. So I'm basing a lot of my picks on the heaviness and what, you know, the fans dig and like and requests and stuff like that. But that's another cool riff that Charlie had. He's had that riff. I mean, guys, since he was a kid, you know, down, here I am singing it, which I shouldn't do that. But anyway, that riff is just, it grabs you as soon as it starts. That always gets the ladies dancing.
It does. And I feel like Little Piece of Dixie is the one Blackberry Smoke album that leans a little bit more towards the traditional country side, where a lot of the albums either talking about Bad Luck Ain't No Crime or anything after Little Piece of Dixie, it seems like the spectrum was a lot wider. And it seems like on Little Piece of Dixie, you guys were trying to hone a particular sound, at least in comparison to the rest of the discography.
That was Dan Huff, he produces a lot of people. Tim McGraw, Cape Hill, Keith Urban, all that stuff. He was producing that, and then he found that, you know, he liked our band, and then wanted to release the record, and he kind of directed that kind of vibe to it. And yeah, that's got a lot of Dan on it. And I love Dan. Dan is one of my favorite guitar players on planet Earth to begin with, but he's a really good producer and knows what he's talking about.
Oh, the album has such a great sound to it. I mean, it still sounds like modern country now, and the album is what, 16 years old at this point?
I think so. God, I'm old. Yeah.
So from the sound of Little Piece of Dixie that's kind of honed in, I kind of want to balance the scale by completely throwing things off balance.
Okay.
And I'm going to jump to 2016's Like an Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to bring in the oh so funky Believe You Me.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I don't know, soul, R&B. Like there's this 70s stank on the song that to me feels like kind of an outlier in Blackberry Smoke's catalog. Yet when you play it live, it just sounds like it was always meant to be there.
Yeah.
It almost fools people to show how multifaceted the group is.
Yeah, it's, with those kind of things, and especially with that tune, there was that tiny bit of chink down, out, chink down. Charlie came in with that, and we just knew what was going to go on immediately. I mean, because we've been playing so long together, we just, I know what I'm going to do, I know what I'm going to do, know what I'm going to do, and it just fell right in. Nobody's going, well, let's change this, Charlie comes in with the song complete 99.9% of the time. It's finished to me.
Really? So there's not a lot of tweaking after the writing stages?
Not much. A producer may say something, and give us some ideas and stuff. But that one was pretty cut and dry. We played it. I mean, most of the time in the studio with these songs is our first time playing them.
Really?
Like as a band. Yeah. Yeah. We just kind of hear it and go, okay, let's hit to it.
That's extremely interesting because the songs sound so polished. It's as if you've been playing them for years.
Nah, it's just, like I said, man, we've been doing it together for so long. I hate to ruin the fantasy.
Not ruining it at all, man. That's a testament to how you guys approach music.
Yeah. That makes Blackberry Smoke to me, so.
All right. And with that, I'm throwing it back to you to follow up Believe You Me with track 9.
What record was that from?
That was Like an Arrow.
Okay. All right. I think I'll have that record here. Like I said, I cannot remember, folks, what all the tracks. So I think Ought to Know is on that record.
That it is.
That one. That has got such a cool, Cheap Trick feel to it. We don't play it a lot, but it's just got such a cool feel to that song, man. Brit honed right in on that one. It was awesome.
It's funny you bring up Cheap Trick because to me, this was always a Blackberry Smoke song. But now that you mention it, I do hear a hat tip in that song.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't have to take it to an extreme. You don't want to sound like, I don't know, Zeppelin completely. But you definitely, if you're into it, put something in there that reminds, that you're tipping you're like you said, tipping your hat to. And to me, that's the way I see it. I'm quite proud of that song.
As you guys should be. It's a killer tune. But now to close out side A, I'm actually going to close out with an album closing track.
Uh-oh.
And it's one of my favorite songs from the band that for a while wasn't being played, but was brought back in 2022 as the band celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Whippoorwill. And I'm going to close out side A with Up the Road.
Ooh, yeah.
That song, it's gotten me through some rough times over the last decade. There's something about the lyrics and the melody of it that's just so inspiring, so fulfilling. And it's such a perfect cherry on top of this Sunday of songs we've put together for side A. There's just something that's so affirmative about it. And I'd love to know, after that 2022 run where you celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Whippoorwill, were there any songs that you guys played where you're like, man, we need to break that out more often because of just the kind of the reception they got?
That one. That one for sure, because I think we play the other ones a little often. I'm looking at the songs. Yeah, we do most of those, and that one we sometimes forget. We're old people.
I mean, I'm just throwing this out in the universe, but next time you're in New Jersey, which just happens to be a week from this very night, and you decide you wanted to break out Up the Road and Holding All the Roses, I'd be a pretty happy guy. I'm not going to lie about that.
All right, cool. I'll mention it. I don't make up a set list, but I'll definitely mention that.
Rock and roll.
I got to go back and learn both of those. We haven't played them in so long.
Well, that Mixtapers concludes side A of the Ultimate Blackberry Smoke mixtape, which consists of Flesh and Bone from Find a Light, Holding All the Roses from the album of the same name, Everybody Knows She's Mine and Pretty Little Lie from the Whippoorwill, Scare the Devil from Bad Luck Ain't No Crime, Best Seat in the House from Find a Light, Shake Your Magnolia from Little Piece of Dixie, Believe You Me and Ought to Know from Like an Arrow, and Up the Road from the Whippoorwill. Head over to myweeklymixtape.com to hear all the songs we've discussed in this mix through the playlist embedded on the episode page. And now to flip things over for side B, Paul, I'm going to kick things off. And we talked earlier about Ought to Know being a little bit of a hat tip to Cheap Trick. And I'm going to go back to Like an Arrow, and I'm going to go to an album opener and go with a dirty riff. Waiting for the Thunder.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing.
This song has an AC/DC level of power to it, even though it's a Southern rock song at the end of the day.
I mean, right there. You said it. To me, that's exactly what I think.
Is that a song that you guys know is like kind of one that it's easy to pull out of your pocket at any given time? Because I feel like that song can open a set and close a set with just as much authority.
Yeah, we do it on the rag quite often, and it is always fun to hear the people sing it back to you. And, some people may think it's political, but it's not at all, period. It could be, I think, if people wanted it to, but that's not the intention of that song, period. It's just got, it's pretty much what people think most of the time anyway.
You don't need to overthink it, right?
Yeah, you don't at all.
All right. Well, now I'm throwing it back to you for track 2 on side B.
All right. Let's go with You Hear Georgia. I do like Morningside. That's a good one. We'll put that in there.
Nice.
That was a little bit of Charlie Starr and Nick Perry. They came up with that. And it's just the guitars in that are raunchy too, And so, Brandon killed it on that one.
Now, given the fact that you like the heavier side of the band,
yeah,
if going by the picks here, do you ever say to Charlie, like, hey, for, the next album, why don't we lean into some of the heft a little bit? Or is that more of just kind of where he goes with the songwriting?
That's sometimes where he goes, like I said, I can't speak for him, but he's got all kinds of different things, spices to put in. And like I said, we could pull those kind of things off doing a heavy song, and then the next one be fairly folky, because it's us and we don't care,
And I'm sure I speak for a lot of the fans when I say we don't mind that at all.
Yeah. It's funny. Like we do some songs. Sometimes I don't look at the set list and I walk out and go, uh-oh, maybe I should have ran over that. Because I get surprised all the time. I mean, that's when I was had my own band. I hated writing the set list, and Charlie's got a pretty big job doing that.
Now, is there ever any time that you guys pull audibles on stage where you're just feeling we need to go here next?
Yeah, he'll, like I said, he's singing these songs. So, and we play quite often. So 4 shows in a row with a day off and 4 shows in a row, that could be tough on any human being.
Yeah.
Vocal cords. So I usually just stay out of his way when it comes to writing the set list.
Well, I think I'm going to stick with You Hear Georgia for another track here. And I'm just going to go right to the album. I'm a sucker for album opening tracks. So I'm going right to the album opener, Live It Down. Because as far as I'm concerned, anytime that Sherry and Sharita Murphy get onto a track, otherwise known as the Black Betties, they make their presence felt. I'd love to know how that relationship came together with Blackberry Smoke and the Black Betties.
Well, we back when we were cutting records, we just always, thought about getting a couple backup singers just to do the studio stuff, just to do it. I mean, outside of my stuff, just to have that different flavor, on some of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who found them. I think maybe Brit or Charlie. I don't know. Then we asked them if they come in and do the harmonies, and they said, sure, which is cool with me. It means I don't have to sing all of that.
And you've also brought them out at shows like the Homecoming show that you put out on Blu-ray and DVD. Yeah. Is there ever a point that you would want to have them on the road for the entire tour?
I mean, I'm down with anything. I'm just that guy. But trying to it's expensive to be out on tour.
That's what I
Two
figured.
buses, one semi. It's kind of it can get pretty pricey. So, and they're usually busy a lot, but when we can get them, we're always like, yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, we are on to track 4 now. Throwing it back to you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to say One Horse Town because that is definitely a fan favorite, and that was our. I always thought that was our. Uh, what is the song? Small Town by
John Cougar Mellencamp?
John Cougar. Yeah, John
Yep.
Mellencamp. And I was like, man, that'd be cool to have a song like that, and because that's a great song.
Oh, it's
And then,
incredible.
yeah, and then Charlie introduced that song to us, and I was like, ooh, and everybody loves that song. Kids love it, grandparents love it because it's true, dude. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics of that song,
Well,
it's all
that's what I was
true.
just going to ask you. Is that all firsthand people that Charlie knew?
Well, I don't know. I didn't grow up around his area, but I did live there for a while, so
Okay.
pretty much there's not one false thing in that song because I've been around his little bitty town, believe me.
Well, I mean, aside from the fact that I love the melody and just the entire vibe that the song has, the storytelling that's going on, you really feel the emotion and the realness of the stories that are being told about this song. So it's by far one of my favorite songs from the band. It's one that I always look forward to seeing live. It's one that I've played live when I've done gigs. So it was an easy scoop. I had it in my list. And if you didn't pick it, I was going to. But to follow that up musically, I'm going to do a little bit of a shift here. We talked about acoustic on side A, and I want to really lean into the acoustic here. Blackberry Smoke, like I mentioned at the top, one of my favorite bands for the last 20 years. And one of my favorite bands, when they cover my favorite artist of all time, you have my friggin' attention. And on 2018's The Southern Ground Sessions, you remade Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' You Got Lucky with Amanda Shires on violin. Now, to me, this is more than a cover because you guys completely reimagined it. And I'd love to know kind of the thought process behind taking this kind of synthy 1980s track and turning it into a beautiful acoustic ballad.
Man, first off, that was a hard session to do because it was hard to not stare at her all day. Um, I'm just saying, and she's super cool and can play the hell out of that fiddle
Yeah.
and got a great voice. Now she came in and did that. It was just, it blew me away. So I don't. There might be video of that. I'm probably just laying like mouth open. But that just happened right there when we recorded it.
Now I have to follow up on this one because I've seen you guys live and I've seen you break out Sleeping Dogs. And when you're in the middle of the song, you sometimes pivot into Don't Come Around Here No More and You Don't Know How It Feels. So who's the petty fanatic in Blackberry Smoke?
I think all of us are, but Charlie, whatever he's feeling at the moment, he is whatever he's playing. We'll just follow and do like, cool, we're doing this one. Oh, we're doing that one. Or like, oh my God, what's that chord? Yeah.
And you guys obviously wear your cover songs on your sleeve as you had
Yeah.
in 2021, you guys did a studio album that was live to tape of nothing but Rolling Stones songs for Record Store Day.
Yeah.
How did that all come together?
Well, it was, COVID and we were chomping at the bits to play. And then somebody, I think it was our management at the time, they came up with the idea of doing that. We were like, wait a minute, we get to go to the studio? Cool. We'll do it. And the process was cool. I think we ran that set twice, just so they can get sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And the second take of that whole record was that.
Oh, wow.
You could hear a little bit of, if you pay attention, some bumfuzzleness in there. Somebody's like, oh, wrong chord. But the Stones wouldn't care.
No.
That's rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll is meant to be perfectly imperfect.
That's right. That's a shirt right there, like $8.
All right. Hey, if you make one, just put My Weekly Mixtape on the back of it.
Okay. That's great.
So what are you going to follow up You've Got Lucky with?
Oh, man. Golly. Oh, I like off of Be Right Here. Let's go with this is hard. Let's do Be So Lucky. Let's put that on there. That's got a really cool. And this is the problem with me. I'm always thinking about the music part of it. That's got this really cool riff in it. And like I said, I like all of our songs, and this is terrifying for me to do. Just like
Terrifying. Oh, no.
excuse me. I just don't want to leave any of them out, but we got to. That's the fun part of the mixtape.
Yeah, that makes the challenge. But guess what? There's always a volume 2, my friend.
That's right. That is right.
All right. Well, this album, I'm not going to lie, Be Right Here is a little bit of a bittersweet listen for me. Just knowing it's the last album that Brit was on for the band. And I know this is a little bit of a tough topic, but I'd love to talk about and celebrate Brit for a moment here if we could, because I feel like his light still shines through the band to this day. And I'd like to know kind of how you guys are keeping that light alive through the music now.
You know, it's for just personally for me, Brit is always here. He didn't go anywhere. You know, I know he moved on, but for, you know, when I miss him, all I got to do is run to the turntable and drop a needle, you know, and he's right there. He'll be with us forever, you know. So, and he was such a, you know, a driving force of us not killing ourselves. And I mean that sincerely. I mean, he just, God, he did some crazy stuff for us to keep us from not killing ourselves out on the road, you know. So, and he was one of the funniest people I've ever met. I was telling somebody the other day, it's hard sometimes when I'm thinking about him. I don't. It's hard for me to get sad because I think of all the crazy, funny crap he did. So I immediately go to that, start cracking up. Even at his memorial, we had his wife and daughter and everybody put on. They had a crap ton of photos, and I remember every one of those photos. And I remember what we were doing and how we were talking and making cracking stupid jokes. So it was. I sat there with a smile on my face, and I hope people weren't like, "Look at that fool over there smiling." But it was just funny. I was like, "Oh my God, I remember that." I remember what he was saying to me and how he was saying it. But I miss him. I miss him a lot.
We all do. We all do. And he was a huge piece of the legacy. And
yeah.
I apologize for going to a heavier subject, no. But I feel like anyone that listens to this episode, I want to know that Brit lives through this show, through the band, through the music, through the fans. He's always going to be a part of the Blackberry Smoke legacy.
Always. Right. Always. 100%.
So I think to tap into what you were just talking about there, I think I'm actually going to pivot. I had a song in mind to follow up Be So Lucky, but you were talking about kind of the sense of humor and the smiles and the laughter. And I can't think about that without my mind going to one of my favorite Blackberry Smoke lyrics, that even though the song is not meant to be a humorous song, this line always puts a huge smile on my face. When my life is over and my time has come to pass, bury me upside down so the world can kiss my ass. Son of a Bourbon from the new Honky Tonk Bootlegs EP.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Bootleg.
My God, I love when you guys break this out live, because that line, I think, perfectly sums up the spirit of this song, and obviously the crowd feels it.
Yeah, that was a good one. I remember when we were playing that song for the first time, and my old man, when he was alive, he did a painting company. He had his paint company outside the fire department. Like a lot of firefighters, they have extra jobs because, you know, the pay's not really well. But anyway, his business card said that on the back of it.
Really?
Those exact lyrics. I have them somewhere in the house, but that's not where Charlie got the lyrics. He just came up with that. See, that was an old saying, pretty much, from our parents' era.
Yes. Yeah. Well, now we are back to you for track 8. You have 2 songs left and I have 1. So we're getting to the kind of the encore, if you will.
Yeah. It's hard. That's a hard one. I got it. Hold All the Roses. Wish in One Hand.
Yes.
That's a good jam too. Probably because it says the SHIT word. I don't know. I mean, You can kind of listen to some of these songs and learn a lesson from them if you wanted to take it there. But I mean, who hasn't? My parents said that to me all the time. It's like,
Exactly.
but I want this. I can't. I mean, my mom was there wishing on him. To see what feels at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
Well, we are down to one song left each.
Okay.
And I want to take a quick moment to give a quick shout out to two of the Patreon mixtapers because they chimed in with some songs that we haven't talked about yet, sans my little Tom Petty aside a few minutes ago.
Okay.
First, we had Patreon mixtaper Chad Lamassa, who chimed in with Sleeping Dogs off the Whippoorwill. And then mixtaper Jason Donchis chimed in first by saying that Blackberry Smoke is the best live band in the land.
Oh, thank you.
But nothing gives him the feels more like the opening to Shaking Hands with the Holy Ghost, also from the Whippoorwill. I'm going to be perfectly honest. This is a coin flip moment for me because I love both of these songs equally. So I'm going to try something different tonight, and I hope you're okay with this, but I am going to ask you, as a member of the band, which one of these songs should I pick for this last song of the evening?
I'm going to go with Shaking Hands with the Holy Ghost.
All right. Awesome.
Because that song is another, I mean, it's an ass-kicking riff, So I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Oh, you could say that all you want. It is.
I knew when we played that the first time, I was like, ooh, damn, people are going to dig this. For sure. Then we put it on a record and cut the video in London somewhere. That's definitely still a fan favorite.
Certainly is. So at track 9, Shaking Hands with the Holy Ghost. And with that, a huge thank you to both Chad and Jason for chiming in over on the Patreon boards. And now, Paul, you have the pleasure or pain, depending on, a lot of people don't like this spot, but you get to close out the evening with the final song of the night, the closing number.
I'll Find the Light. Right? Let me make sure I got the right record. I'll Find the Light, since we're closing it, till the wheels fall off.
Nice.
'Cause that's what we do. We always on tour, and we'll do this thing until the wheels completely fall off of it. That's not happening anytime soon.
I was just going to ask, what does 2025 have in store for Blackberry Smoke in terms of touring?
Busy.
Well, given the last few years, I'd say it's a given at this point.
I mean, last year, that was a long year, and we love to play. I mean, it's, as you get older, you want to be with your family and stuff, but there's something about that 2 hours and you just can't beat it. It's hard being away from your wife. It's hard being away from, I'm not trying to go off on the rails. I'm just trying to tell you how this all
by all
works.
means. Yeah.
It's hard being away from your children, when something's wrong and they need you and you're looking through a phone and you can't get your hands on them to choke them. You know what I mean? But the road life is rough, but we love the place. So that's the reason we're still at it. And I've been home for almost 2 months and I'm ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? And my wife's ready for me to rock and roll too.
If I could put this in Blackberry Smoke terms, let me help you find the door.
Yeah, she always tells me, she's like, oh my God, I'm getting claustrophobic. You've got to go. So.
Well, there you have it, folks. Side B of the ultimate Blackberry Smoke mixtape, which consists of Waiting for the Thunder from Like an Arrow, Morningside and Live It Down from You Hear Georgia, One Horse Town from the Whippoorwill, You Got Lucky from the Southern Ground Sessions, Be So Lucky from Be Right Here, Son of a Bourbon from the new Honky Tonk Bootlegs EP, Wish in One Hand from Holding All the Roses, Shaking Hands with the Holy Ghost from the Whippoorwill, Until the Wheels Fall Off from Find a Light. Head over to myweeklymixtape.com to hear all the songs we've discussed in this mix through the playlist embedded on the episode page. 2024 was the last time Blackberry Smoke put out an album, about a year old now, Be Right Here. Is there anything that's brewing for any new Blackberry Smoke music in 2025?
Yeah, we always are, it's just try to find the time to do it is the thing. There's always new music. That's not the problem. It's just trying to find the time to do it. So we're looking, who knows, maybe near the end of the year, we'll hit back in and have something for 2026. I mean, who knows? Or there might be something before that. We'll see. I'm not at liberty to say at the moment, so which is a good thing, I guess.
I'll just leave it at that. Paul, this has been an absolute honor. Thank you so much for joining me on My Weekly Mixtape.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for all the hard questions.
And to all the mixtapers listening, remember, you can find My Weekly Mixtape on almost all the social media haunts at My Weekly Mixtape. You can also head to myweeklymixtape.com to check out the full catalog of My Weekly Mixtape episodes. And finally, if you like what you're hearing on the show, you can help me out by either telling a friend, leaving the show a 5-star review wherever you're tuning in, or becoming a Patreon mixtaper at patreon.com/My Weekly Mixtape. There you can find ad-free episodes of the show, gain early access to future episodes, chime in on upcoming topics, become a future guest, and so much more. That's all for this week. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, enjoy the tunes.